We had just landed in Seattle, and we had just gotten our rental car, and my family and I, me, my wife, my 3 kids, were going down the 5 freeway to my aunt and uncle's house for Thanksgiving break. You see, it was the Friday before Thanksgiving, and we're driving, and all of a sudden, my wife gets a phone call. And I look down from the driver's seat, and I see the caller ID. She sees it, she goes, "Oh, crud." You see, our kids had missed a lot of days of school that year. And this was another day that was going to be unexcused absence. And we knew we were going to get in trouble about it. And it was the school office. And again, she answered, she goes, "What am I going to say?" And I said, "Tell them our kids are sick." So she answers the phone, and yep, it's the attendant's office, and they start asking, like, "Yep, our kids are sick. Sorry, yeah." And then we have our Thanksgiving break, so we'll see you after Thanksgiving. Thanks. All right, bye-bye, and hangs up. And the minute she hangs up, I immediately go, "Oh, crud. I can't believe you lied. And on top of that, you lied in front of your kids. And I'm a pastor." Hey, Daily Dosers, how's it going? My name is Travis. I'm a pastor at North Coast, and yes, I'm a liar. I am. And it's crazy how when we're raising our kids, how we're concerned about a lot of times the big things. Do they go to church? Do they know Jesus Christ? But a lot of times it's the small things, where we there's little times where we make little mistakes here, or there's things that we kind of fudge the whatever it is, and it's crazy how in parenting a lot of times we do that. You see, I was reading some scripture the other day. It's in Titus 2:6. It says this: "Similarity, encourage the young men to be self-controlled." This is Paul talking. He's talking to elders and to strong Christians. He said, "In everything, set them an example by doing what is good." We're supposed to set an example by doing good. He says, "In your teaching, show integrity." And he's talking about this idea that we need to set a good example, and we got to constantly, when we're teaching our kids, we got to show integrity. And integrity is that idea of doing what's right even when no one's looking, doing what's right even in the small things. But I don't know if you're like me. It's crazy. The small things sometimes like, but it's not a big deal. It's not going to hurt anything. But the problem is your students, your kids, they're watching. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a grandparent, whether you're an aunt, an uncle, whether you just have younger people in your life, they're watching. And it's crazy, those small things, we don't think they're a big deal. It's not a big deal. But I've heard it said a lot, it's more caught than taught. And how we leave that example is far more important than what you're telling. Make sure you go to church. Make sure you're doing this. What are we doing as parents? What are we doing as adults to set that example? Because I know I struggle with it, but that's something we need to continue to work on. It talks about in Matthew that we're the light of the world. We're the light of the world. We're the light. We're even the light to our students, to our kids in our lives. And if we're not having that integrity, sometimes we go, dang it, you might be hurting them by the way we live our lives. You see, here's the thing is right after I got the phone, I felt like an idiot. And I was like, what do? I can't believe I just lied in front of my kids. And I remember I immediately called my wife and said, "Call them back right now," and put it on speakerphone. And she called back, and she didn't even say anything. I just said, "Hi, my name's Travis, and my wife just talked to you, and I want you to know something. I apologize. We lied to you. We flat out lied to you. I was worried about getting in trouble, but we're just on vacation. We wanted to take one day earlier. We apologize, and you know what? I understand if you guys are angry, but I wanted to let you know I didn't want to lie to you." And they said, they were kind of shocked. They're like, "Okay, whatever." And they hung up. And I look back at my kids and I say, "Guys, listen, your dad, he makes mistakes. I know even a pastor makes mistakes. Dad should have never lied. And you know what? I was worried about the consequences, but it's not worth it. You know what? If I get in trouble, we get in trouble, we'll deal with that. But Dad's not going to lie. I shouldn't have lied, and I apologize. You guys forgive me." You see, I want to ask you something. When you do make a mistake, how quick are we to forgive? How quick are we to point out our mistakes? Are you willing to do that? Because you're going to mess up. We're human. But sometimes that can be just as powerful. I want to encourage you. Hey, how are we having integrity in the small things? And hey, when we mess up, what are we doing? I want to encourage you today. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.